Did you know that the tradition of dyeing or decorating Easter eggs does not originally stem from a religious belief? In fact, according to a Time.com article titled Easter Eggs, The Origins of Easter Day's Egg Association, this tradition actually started in Europe as an Anglo-Saxon festival celebrating the goddess by the name of Easter. During this festival, they celebrated the approaching spring, and they often ate eggs or even buried them in the ground as symbols of fertility. Christians often linked their religious holidays to these pagan festivals in order to attract more people to their religion. Many people decorate Easter eggs every year, and a lot of people even hide them around their house or yard for their kids to find. Although in recent years, people have switched to using plastic eggs instead and filling them with candy or small toys. The White House even has an Easter Day tradition involving eggs. They use decorated eggs to allow kids to race them across the White House lawn, according to an article from History.com titled Easter Symbols and Traditions. Decorating Easter eggs is something that my family has done for many years, and I now keep that tradition alive with my own son. There are many different ways to decorate Easter eggs, but today I will teach you how to do so using food coloring. This project, like most, has many necessary and optional supplies. The first step is to gather your supplies. You will need hard-boiled eggs that you have already cooked and cooled. You will need half a cup of boiling water for each color dye that you would like to make. You will need distilled white vinegar. You will need food coloring, and you will also need containers to put your dye in, measuring cups, measuring spoons, and something to stir the dye with. Optionally, you may want a spoon or gloves or a whisk, something to hold the eggs so that you don't have to put your fingers actually in the dye. You will also probably want paper towels and maybe to lay something on the table so to protect your surface, because the dye can stain. You will also maybe want some decorations, such as a white or clear crown, markers, stickers, googly eyes, sequins. You can be creative with it. The next step is to prepare your dye. Step number 2 is to prepare your dye by mixing your ingredients together in your containers. You will want to add half a cup of very hot or boiling water to each container. You will also want to add 1 teaspoon of vinegar. Then you will want to add 10 to 20 drops of the color of your choice. You can mix colors to make new colors, and I advise making at least 4 colors so that you have plenty of options and variety for your eggs. After you've made all your dyes, I've already made these 3, you will want to stir it together so that it's nice and mixed. The next step is to actually dye your eggs. Step number 3 is to dye your eggs. If you want to write or draw on them, you should use a white or a clear crown. Write or draw on them and then put them in the dye. That way your drawings will show through. You will want to get an egg and you will want to gently place it in the dye. You could also make various designs by dyeing only one half one color and then dyeing the other half. There's lots of different ways you can be creative. After about 5 minutes, you will want to remove the egg and allow it to dry. I've already dyed a few eggs and let them dry so that I can show you how to decorate. You can decorate by coloring on them with markers, gluing on things. Be creative and use supplies that you have around your house. I'm going to add a few stickers to my egg so that it is ready to display. You now know how to decorate Easter eggs using food coloring in 4 simple steps. Let's review those steps now. Step number 1 is to collect necessary and optional supplies. Step number 2 is to prepare dishes of dye. Step number 3 is to dye your eggs and let them dry. And step number 4 is to add any extra decorations that you please. As you can see, dyeing Easter eggs is not hard. It is fun for all ages, and you can do it alone or with your family or friends. Once your eggs are decorated, you can store them in the fridge to eat later. You could hide them in your yard so your kids can hunt for them. You could display them around the house as decorations. You could even use them for egg races, just like the White House does.